There's 18 of them in the pen by the Morgiana bulls. 449 kilo. Pecas, could it if you want them. Righto, set them alight. I thought they could have made $1.80. $1.80 and go. $1.80. 78. 78. I bet 70 for a start, thank you.
Hamilton Weaner sales continued on Tuesday with an inaugural sale of European crossbreeds, and Bernie Grant joins me. Bernie, one of the few Euro sales, standalone sales in Eastern Australia. You've pulled it on this year. How did you think it'd go?
Well, Murray, for the season that we're going through and with what's happening up north and so forth like that, I think the job was very solid. Again, and as we've seen with all of our weaner sales, you see repeat buyers coming back year and year in and year out, and the cattle that they are bidding on do make a premium over and above most other cattle. So it just goes to show that, you know, the genetics that the clients are putting up here, you know, they're getting rewarded for them by the purchase.
Yeah, pulling the Euro breeds, steers and heifers onto the one day, all those who wanted to buy those cattle in the past have actually arrived and bought them.
Yeah, they have. Yeah, it certainly did. You know, we had the Gippsland over again. You know, they were always very strong on the Euro steers, and you know, we had the Southeast over, and you know, they competed on both steers and heifers. So, you know, I seriously do think it was a good concept, and I think it'll only get better.
Yeah. Now, 180s to 190s generally for the steers. Was that about the mark that you expected?
I think it was. Yeah. You know, it's like if you get out your calculator and you tap all these prices out, you know, calculate out the weight with the cents per kilo received. You know, there's some healthy dollars per head prices being paid. You know, steers up around $750, and you know, I went across the Narracord last week, and you know, it's hard to get the buyers up around $750 selling them dollars per head. So, you know, I think once you work the calculations out, it was a very, very, very good result. Yeah,
155s to 165s for the bulk of the heifers. It's set a big benchmark for the British breeds heifers tomorrow on Thursday.
Yeah, it has. You know, I thought they might have bounced a bit better on the heifers, but you know, in saying that, yeah, it still was a pretty good result when you work them all out dollars per head. It was still a very, very, very good result, and you know, it will be interesting to see how the British heifers go tomorrow. I still think it should be in the vicinity of $1.40 to $1.60 for the bulk of the heifers. You know, we've had a lot of inquiry. We've got a few clients ourselves that want to buy a few, so you know, that should keep a pretty solid floor in the job, I think.
Yeah, inquiry on EU, and very good inquiry for feedlots generally here today too.
Yeah, there was, you know, and so there should be a premium for EU because, you know, there is a bit of extra work involved, so the people that are in that program, you know, they should be getting rewarded for their efforts. And yeah, with the feedlotters, you know, it's good that they are here because they do like, you know, cattle with a bit of weight, which a lot of grass finishers can't really handle. So it's good to have the feedlotters here, and it's good that they do compete heavily on those heavy calves plus the EU cattle.
The sprinkling of PCAS cattle through the yarding. Did you see that there was any attention drawn to them by specific buyers?
There was one specific buyer, and he did say prior to the sale that he was chasing PCAS cattle. Whether they gained a premium, who knows, but they did gain extra bidding, and you know, if it's only 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 cents, you know, you tap it out, it's still, you know, $14-15 a head, so it's still worthwhile doing. And you know, it may grow. It's certain that, you know, we don't have many people in the system here that take cattle on to finish in the system, but it was the Southeast, and they do it, so, you know, we've got to dish up what they want.